Now, I apologize for the next presenter name. I will try my best to pronounce it correctly. Mr. Rachamim Enoch Code. Who's here in person. And also on Zoom. Please proceed with your presentation.
Honorable members of the committee, shalom, hello, and bonjour. My name is Rachamim Enoch Code. My pronouns are he, him, el. I stand before you tonight not only as a healthcare aide in long-term care, a civilian contractor with the Canadian Armed Forces, the Diversity Vice President for Persons with a Disability for CUPE Manitoba, a member of the Jewish diaspora community here in Winnipeg, but also as someone whose life is deeply intertwined with the transgender and gender diverse community. My partner, a non-binary individual who underwent facial feminization surgery just 3 days ago. I am also a brother-in-law to a trans woman. Every day I witness the strength, resilience, and inherent right of my loved ones and countless others to live authentically and express their gender identity freely. This isn't merely a matter of personal support. It is a fundamental human right. As an observant Masorti Jew who visibly expresses my religious identity through Jewish garments, such as the kippah and the talit katan, I am afforded the protection under our human rights code. I find it unethical that the equally fundamental right to express someone's gender identity is not afforded the same explicit protection in Manitoba. As a strictly observant Jew, I urge this committee to not listen to presenters that make a religious claim against this bill as one who urges their God or uses their God as a justification to deny another person a human right, does not know their God, but uses and plays as their God. In Judaism, which Christianity, Islam, and even Western laws are founded on, does not teach to deny human rights, but to fight for other individuals, even when they are not people of Israel or Jews. Jews have been at the forefront of many civil rights movements, and this is a human right that is affirmed by the United Synagogue for Conservative Judaism here in North America. This bill has been passed by far more conservative provinces than ours, and as a religious person, I do not fear another person having rights. Someone's right to express themselves does not diminish my own. If your fear is with someone else having and living freely will diminish you, you are not living, but some may say, a Christian life as Jesus teaches. Judaism is over 4,000 years, and even we acknowledge that there are at least 8 genders, including trans, intersex, non-binary, and many others. Manitoba once demonstrated leadership in human rights by adding sexual orientation as a protected ground in 1987. Yet, in 2025, we lag behind numerous other provinces. Newfoundland and Labrador recognized the importance of protecting gender expression in 2010, followed by Ontario and Nova Scotia in 2012, Alberta in 2015, British Columbia in 2016, and finally the federal government in 2017, just to name a few. Manitoba's continued inaction leaves a vulnerable segment of our population without explicit legal resources against discrimination and hate based on how they express their gender. Passing this bill is not just about catching up. It's about reaffirming Manitoba's commitment to equality and dignity for all its citizens. It's about actively choosing to be a leader once again, rather than remaining complicit in the face of prejudice. I urge this committee and the government to not only champion the swift adoption of this vital bill, but also to commit to ongoing research into other potential additions to our human rights code, ensuring that Manitoba becomes a truly inclusive and protective country for everyone. I am proud to stand with many Manitobans on the right side of history, as a province that protects and fights for the equality of all, not the few. Toda Rabba, thank you, merci, and miigwech.
Thank you for your presentation. Do members of the committee have questions for the presenter, the Honorable Minister of Justice?
Yeah, Rachamim, thank you so much for being here this evening, for presenting here. I really appreciate how you brought your faith tradition and your, your beliefs as sort of the core to your presentation. As Minister Astaguera mentioned earlier with another presenter, I think that adds a really important dimension to the discussion here this evening. I appreciate too that you're obviously well researched, and you've brought a thoughtful presentation here. So I want to thank you for taking the time, staying so late, and for bringing this important perspective.
Mr. Code.
Thank you. Yes, I wanted to talk about the Jewish perspective, because often, which we heard at the beginning and throughout this entire thing, that a group of Christians like to radicalize their religion as a movement of why others can't have rights, can't have human rights. And Judaism is far more against that, which Christianity is based off of. So I wanted to show the foundation of what their religion is based off of and that they are not following. I also wrote this speech with my partner who's non-binary that lives in Saskatchewan, who does not have this right and probably won't have for a while because of their very hateful government. So,
Mr. Balkin.
Again, I would like to thank you for the presentation and for bringing your perspective forward. It's certainly a different perspective than we've heard from others tonight, so I appreciate hearing what you had to say. Thank you.
Mr. Code.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure that a Jewish voice was spoken about this, because it is taught to us. It is a mitzvah, which is a commandment that we are to fight for others, and life is more important than any religious affiliation or following laws, because healthcare that is gender affirming saves lives, and that's at the end of the day the most important thing.
Thank you. Seeing no more questions, thank you very much for your presentation.